Chosen one. A nasty breakup is about to go down, and the third party is going to lose their mind the moment your name is mentioned. Somewhere right now, someone is living a double life built on lies, trying to keep peace in a connection that's been dead for months. But the mask is slipping. Your name has been echoing in conversations not meant for your ears, slipping out in arguments that weren't supposed to involve you. That single mention is the spark that sets off the explosion. The performance ends, the truth spills out, and everything collapses. You didn't cause it. You simply existed, and that was enough to unravel the illusion. The third party already suspects something. Intuition has been whispering warnings that keep getting louder. Emotional distance has been felt. Genuine connection has been missing. This absence drives the third party to desperation. Phones get monitored. Fights get manufactured to force reactions. Drama gets created to test loyalty. Deep in their core, the third party knows someone else occupies sacred space in their partner's heart. That someone is you. Your social media has been stalked religiously. The third party sees how you carry yourself, how you glow, how you thrive, how your life radiates peace while theirs drowns in chaos. Every picture you post becomes a dagger. Every smile you share becomes evidence of what they lack. Every sign that you have moved forward becomes proof that the third party never stood a chance. You were never truly competing, but your very existence exposes everything missing in their relationship. Conversations happen in this person's head with you constantly. Full discussions where explanations flow, apologies pour out, truths get spoken that remain trapped in waking life. These mental rehearsals happen in showers, during solo drives, in the darkness while lying next to someone who is not you. Your presence in their inner world has become so vivid that the third party can sense when their partner drifts away mentally. Those faraway looks, those moments of emotional absence. The third party feels the distance and knows exactly where their partner has gone. Back to you. Always back to you. The third party has tried becoming more attractive, more accommodating, more understanding, more everything. But here is what devastates them most. The harder trying happens, the more obvious the gap becomes. You never had to try. You never had to perform. You never had to calculate moves or strategize approaches. You simply existed in your authenticity, and that natural state created connection so deep that forced effort cannot replicate it. The third party senses this truth even without words for it. Every attempt to manufacture what you had naturally only highlights the fundamental difference between genuine soul connection and relationship built on convenience. Something else haunts the third party constantly, wondering what conversations happened between you and this person in alternate timelines, what life could have been if different choices were made, what happiness looks like in the version of reality where you were chosen instead. These thoughts consume the third party during quiet moments, while driving alone, while lying awake at night, while going through motions of daily life. The ghost of what could have been between you and this person haunts their relationship like a presence felt but never confronted directly. The third party has probably tried talking to friends about you, seeking validation that jealousy is justified, looking for reassurance that anyone would feel threatened in their position. But what responses actually come back? Friends likely say that obsessing over someone from the past is not healthy, that focusing on building what exists in the present matters more than competing with what existed before. These rational responses do not help, making the third party feel more alone, more misunderstood, more certain that nobody grasps how powerful your presence remains despite physical absence. Here is something the third party will never admit out loud. Part of them actually admires you, respects what you represent, wishes embodying the same authentic presence that makes you unforgettable were possible. But admiration mixed with jealousy creates toxic combination. Instead of learning from what you represent, instead of developing their own authentic voice, the third party becomes consumed with tearing you down, making you less than, finding your flaws, constructing narratives where you become villain, instead of someone who simply existed in truth and created natural impact. The third party has tried everything to compete with your memory. Appearance changes, personality adjustments, Desperate attempts to recreate a connection they sense existed between you and their partner. But chemistry cannot be manufactured. Soul recognition cannot be forced. The kind of bond that leaves permanent imprints on someone's spirit cannot be faked. Every failed attempt to measure up makes the third party more desperate, more controlling, more unstable. Watch how the third party operates now. Constant checking in about whereabouts, demands for immediate responses to messages, creating situations that require choosing between them and anything else. These control tactics stem from terror. Terror of losing, terror of being abandoned, terror of being proven inadequate. The irony is that these very tactics push their partner further away. Nobody wants feeling imprisoned. Nobody wants constant surveillance. Nobody wants relationship that feels like custody instead of partnership. But the third party cannot stop. Fear drives every action. Fear makes them blind to how their behavior creates the very outcome desperately being prevented. Financial entanglements exist that complicate everything. Maybe shared living space, maybe joint accounts, maybe debts taken on together, maybe purchases made, assuming long-term future. These practical ties create obligation beyond emotion. The third party uses these entanglements strategically. Reminders get dropped about how complicated leaving would be, how expensive, how socially messy. These practical concerns get weaponized to create guilt and obligation, where genuine desire to stay no longer exists. If you felt the truth in these words, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can see it. Practical complications can be solved, money can be figured out, living situations can be changed, social awkwardness can be weathered. What cannot be solved is fundamental incompatibility. What cannot be figured out is forcing someone to want what does not get wanted. What cannot be changed is the reality that settling never creates fulfillment. What cannot be weathered indefinitely is pretending to feel something not there. The person trapped in this situation carries enormous guilt. Guilt for entering relationship while not being fully available emotionally. Guilt for the third party's pain that comes from loving someone unable to love them back the same way. Guilt for the time and energy the third party has invested in building something never going to last. This guilt keeps them paralyzed, keeps them staying longer than they should, keeps them trying to make something work that was broken from the start. But guilt is not love, obligation is not commitment, and staying in something out of guilt creates resentment that eventually explodes. Fear has transformed into dangerous obsession. The third party knows details about you that cross boundaries. Hours have been spent scrolling through your posts, studying your face, analyzing your words, trying to decode what makes you unforgettable. Old photographs of you and this person together have been examined like crime scene evidence. Your smile has been memorized. Your style has been noted. The light visible in their partner's eyes in those old images, a light that has never appeared in any photo with the third party, becomes proof of inadequacy that eats them alive. This fear has turned the third party into someone unrecognizable. Friends notice the change. Family sees the obsession. Everyone around them watches someone they care about become consumed with jealousy over a person who is not even actively in the picture. The third party brings you up in every conversation, compares themselves to you constantly, creates entire mythologies about who you are and what you did to steal their relationship. None of it reflects truth, but the third party needs these narratives. Making you the villain means avoiding the mirror. Blaming you for their loss means never facing their own inadequacy. An argument is building, the kind of confrontation that shatters illusions and exposes every hidden truth. The trigger could be anything: money, commitment, the growing distance that has become impossible to ignore. But the real fight exists beneath the surface topic. The third party is not arguing about bills or plans. The battle concerns emotional absence, vanished intimacy, a future that feels increasingly uncertain. Questions get asked with increasing intensity. Demands for truth grow louder. This person could lie. Deflection remains possible. Gaslighting has worked before, but exhaustion from pretending has reached a breaking point. Something inside craves the relief of honesty, even if honesty means destruction. So when the question comes, when the third party demands to know if someone else occupies their thoughts, a dangerous pause fills the space. You can see the internal debate, keep up the charade, or burn everything down. Your name emerges, whether through confession or accusation, or simple slip of the tongue. Your name enters that charged atmosphere like oxygen meeting flame. The third party's face transforms instantly. Suspicion crystallizes into confirmation. Fear hardens into rage. Denial shatters into devastation. The third party knew on some level, but hearing your name spoken aloud makes the truth undeniable. Pure chaos erupts, screaming, hysterical questions delivered without pause for answers. When did this happen? How long has this been going on? Have you been talking to them? Are you leaving me for them? The purging of months of suspicion and insecurity pours out in volcanic intensity. This person who spoke your name watches the meltdown with mixed emotions, guilt for causing pain, relief that secrets no longer need carrying. The mask has been ripped away. Truth stands exposed, however messy and painful. The third party starts weaponizing everything. Every moment of distance gets thrown back as evidence. Every time intimacy felt forced, every instance of being called by the wrong name, every memory that belonged to your relationship instead of theirs, all of it becomes proof of betrayal. Confirmation that the third party never truly had them. Validation that you have been the invisible presence in their relationship from the beginning. Ultimatums get issued. Promises get demanded. Every shared responsibility, every financial tie, every social connection gets weaponized. Reminders flow about everything that will be lost by leaving, everyone who will judge, everyone who will take sides. All the practical complications of ending things get listed like ammunition. But something fundamental has shifted. Once your name was spoken, once truth was acknowledged, something broke open that cannot close again. The prison door stands open. Freedom beckons from the other side, even if the path forward looks messy and complicated. Your name becomes an incantation in the days following the explosion. The third party cannot stop saying it. You get brought up in every conversation, constant comparisons, obsessive online searches for your name. Entire narratives get constructed about who you are and what you did, even though you remain completely absent from the actual situation. Friends start expressing concern. Watching someone they care about spiral into consuming jealousy over a person who is not even present becomes disturbing. When friends suggest that fixating on you is not helping, the third party explodes. Accepting that you are not the villain means accepting they simply were not the right match. That truth cuts too deep. So mythology gets built around you. In the third party's version of events, you become manipulative, seductive, spellcasting, refusing to let go, secretly maintaining contact. None of it reflects reality, but the third party needs these lies. You must be the villain, so inadequacy does not have to be faced. You must be the active threat, so losing to a memory does not have to be accepted, to a connection from the past that somehow still outshines their present. The third party begins attempting transformation into you. Appearance changes to mirror your style. Interests you hold get adopted. Speech patterns get mimicked. Watching someone lose their identity while competing with someone not even competing becomes painful to witness. You continue living your authentic life completely unaware of this obsession, while the third party dismantles themselves trying to decode what makes you impossible to forget. Social media becomes performance space. Posts about betrayal and loyalty, memes about fake people and true colors, cryptic status updates that anyone paying attention recognizes as commentary on their situation. Victimhood gets performed publicly. The narrative needs controlling before spinning beyond reach. People need seeing them as wronged, not as someone unable to keep a person who did not want staying. But people are not fooled. Mutual friends start noticing patterns, seeing the obsession, seeing how the third party cannot stop bringing you up, seeing the manufactured drama, and slowly, quietly, people start distancing themselves. Not necessarily because sides get picked, but because the energy has become toxic and draining. The third party's desperation to paint you as villain creates opposite effect, making people question what really happened, making them wonder if maybe more exists to the situation than gets told. Meanwhile, this person who spoke your name navigates complicated feelings, guilt for pain caused, shame about how messy the ending became, stress about practical implications of the breakup. But underneath all of that, something else gets felt: lightness, honesty, the ability to finally breathe after being underwater too long. And mixed in with all those feelings sits the thought of you, the question of whether reaching out is possible, the hope that maybe a second chance exists. This person starts crafting messages that never get sent, drafting and deleting, writing and rewriting, trying to find perfect words that acknowledge the past without dwelling on it, that express interest without seeming desperate, that open doors without demanding you walk through them. This process takes time. This process reveals how much care still exists for how you perceive them. This process shows that your opinion still matters deeply to them. So mythology gets built around you. In the third party's version of events, you become manipulative, seductive, spellcasting, refusing to let go, secretly maintaining contact. None of it reflects reality, but the third party needs these lies. You must be the villain so they do not have to be inadequate. You must be the active threat so they do not have to accept losing to a memory, to a connection from the past that somehow still outshines their present. The third party begins attempting to become you. Appearance changes to mirror your style. Interests you hold get adopted. Speech patterns get mimicked. Watching someone lose their identity while competing with someone who is not even competing becomes painful to witness. You continue living your authentic life, completely unaware of this obsession, while the third party dismantles themselves trying to decode what makes you impossible to forget. Social media becomes performance space. Posts about betrayal and loyalty, memes about fake people and true colors, cryptic status updates that anyone paying attention recognizes as commentary on their situation. Victimhood gets performed publicly. The narrative needs controlling before it spins beyond reach. People need seeing them as wronged, not as someone unable to keep a person who did not want staying. Understanding what makes your name so powerful in this situation requires recognizing what you represent. Your name carries frequency, memory of genuine connection, authentic presence, a time when this person felt truly seen and understood at soul level. When your name gets spoken in that argument, more than a word enters the space. An invocation occurs of everything the current relationship is not. A reminder of depth amid shallowness, evidence of soul connection in a relationship built on convenience. This explains why the third party cannot release it. Your name represents their worst fear made manifest. Not being enough, always being second choice, never being able to compete with the memory of what was real, no matter what actions get taken or how hard trying happens. Your name threatens not just their relationship but their entire sense of self-worth. Confronting the reality that being with someone who does not truly want you hurts worse than being alone. The person who spoke your name carries complex feelings about what you represent. Part of them idealizes you, remembers only good parts, builds you up mentally as this perfect connection foolishly abandoned. Another part feels scared of you, scared of not measuring up if return happens, scared that you have moved on and become even more incredible during separation. These conflicting feelings create paralysis, wanting to reach out but feeling afraid, wanting to reconnect but not knowing if the right has been earned. What gives your name such power comes down to the standard of authenticity you embody. You did not play games, manipulation never occurred, drama never got created for attention. You simply showed up as yourself, and that created unforgettable impact. The third party has deployed every game in existence, used every manipulation tactic, created constant drama, and still could not achieve the kind of presence in this person's mind that you hold naturally. This truth drives them to obsession, makes them unable to stop saying your name even though each utterance destroys them again. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your destiny engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. After some time passes, after dust begins settling, this person will reach out to you. The message will arrive carefully crafted. Thinking about what to say has consumed significant mental energy. Dozens of drafts have been written and deleted. Analysis has been done on what approach might work best. Coming on too strong risks pushing you away. Being too casual suggests not caring, so something in between gets aimed for. Acknowledgement of the past but focus on the present. Expression of interest without appearing desperate. Door gets opened without demanding you walk through. Recognize this message as what it truly is, a test. Not malicious necessarily, but strategic nonetheless. Waters are being tested. Accessibility is being measured. Whether you have moved on, or if openings still exist, gets gauged. How you respond, or whether response happens at all, sets the tone for everything following. Your power comes fully into play here. You are no longer the person who got left behind. You are no longer someone who would jump at any crumb of attention. You are no longer the person who would ignore red flags because wanting connection felt so strong. Evolution has occurred. Transformation has happened. Learning to value yourself in new ways has taken root. That evolution means approaching this situation from strength, never desperation. Time becomes yours to take when deciding if the response even feels right. Sitting with the message and noticing how your body reacts gives crucial data. Does your stomach drop with anxiety? Does your heart race with excitement? Does tension grip your body? These physical responses carry information. Your intuition speaks through your nervous system. Messages get delivered about what your mind might want to ignore. Pay attention. Honor these signals. Let them guide you toward choices that protect your peace. If the response gets chosen, terms become entirely yours to set. Immediate replies are owed to no one. Emotional availability is not required. Benefit of the doubt need not be given. This situation was created by their choice of someone else. This mess came from thinking better existed elsewhere. This outcome resulted from walking away from something real, to chase surface appeal. Consequences belong to them to carry, never yours to fix. The third party watches everything. Even without directly monitoring your social media, even without actively stalking your activity, absolute attention gets paid to any sign of reconnection. Fake accounts probably follow you. Friends likely provide updates on the situation. Investment exists in knowing whether their worst fear comes true, whether the person who spoke your name in that explosive argument actually returns to you. Whatever decision gets made will have an audience. The third party will analyze every interaction. Screenshots will get taken. Narratives will be constructed about meaning. Frenzy will build over the smallest signs of reconnection. Not necessarily because they still want this person, but because ego cannot handle the idea of losing to you twice. Once when you were memory competing with their reality. Again if you become reality proving their relationship never had real chance. But decisions cannot be made based on how the third party will react. Life cannot be lived trying to avoid someone else's emotional breakdown. Their feelings remain their responsibility. Their healing belongs to their journey. Their obsession with you is their problem, requiring their solution. You simply get to focus on what actually serves your highest good, what honors your growth, what protects your peace, what aligns with who you have become, and the future you continue building. This person will want to explain themselves to you. Understanding why leaving happened, why the third party got chosen, what was going through their mind, all of this will seek articulation. They will want you seeing that inadequacy on your part played no role, that confusion or fear or lack of readiness existed in them. They will want absolution from the guilt carried for hurting you. Understand that these explanations serve their benefit, never yours. Making themselves feel better about choices drives the motivation. not giving you actual closure. Real closure never comes from someone else's words anyway. It comes from your own acceptance of what happened, and your decision to move forward regardless of whether full understanding ever arrives. Listening to explanations might happen if engagement gets chosen. Some information might even prove interesting or insightful, but never confuse explanation with excuse. Never confuse understanding their perspective with accepting their behavior. Someone can explain why hurt occurred, and still hold accountability for the fact that it did. Someone can have reasons for choices made, and still face consequences of those choices. Your compassion for their struggles does not require sacrificing your standards or compromising your boundaries. Your ancestors have been protecting you throughout this entire situation. Doors that would lead backwards have been closed. Connections that would drain you have been blocked. Signs have been shown. Right now your intuition gets activated even more strongly. They know this test approaches. They know this person plans attempting return. They want you passing this test. They want you choosing yourself. They want you honoring the healing work accomplished. Understanding energy vampires becomes crucial here. Intentional draining does not always occur. Sometimes awareness of the draining does not even exist, but a wound lives inside them, a void they keep trying to fill with other people's energy instead of healing it themselves. This person carries that wound. You felt it during your time together before, how giving and giving happened from you while taking and taking happened from them, how exhaustion followed time spent together, how constant reassurance and validation got needed. That wound remains unhealed. Inner work has not been done. Operating from the same broken place continues. Only circumstances have changed. Trading one relationship for another occurred, but the same person running from the same pain persists. Letting them back in without genuine transformation guarantees ending up in the same patterns that caused hurt before. Watch what happens when reach out occurs. Notice how your body reacts. Does your stomach tighten? Does your chest feel heavy? Does anxiety creep through you? These are signals. Your body knows things your mind has not processed yet. Your intuition speaks through physical sensations. This is your ancestors protecting you, your higher self guiding you. Divine intervention, showing truth before mistakes get made. Everything leads to this moment. This person will reach out, perhaps already has. Decision time arrives about how response happens, or if response happens at all, whether engagement feels right, or if protecting peace takes priority, whether giving access to your energy again makes sense, or if maintaining boundaries serves you better. Before a choice gets made, something important needs to be done. Sit quietly with yourself. Get away from all noise and opinions and feelings. Just listen to your intuition. Your body knows the truth. Your soul knows the truth. Your higher self knows the truth. Getting still enough, quiet enough, allows that truth to speak clearly. Ask yourself questions. Does this feel peaceful or chaotic? Does this feel like expansion or contraction? Does this feel like moving forward or going backwards? Does this feel like divine alignment or karmic repetition? Your honest answers tell everything needing to be known. If engagement with this person gets chosen, do it with eyes wide open. Do not ignore red flags because wanting fantasy to be real feels strong. Do not make excuses for behavior because loneliness aches. Do not convince yourself that this time will be different without evidence that actual change has occurred. Move slowly. Ask hard questions. Demand transparency. Watch actions over time. Stay ready to walk away the moment old patterns resurface. But if protecting peace gets chosen, if honoring healing work accomplished gets chosen, if trusting that something better exists for you gets chosen, understand how proud your ancestors feel. You are making the right choice even if hurt exists right now. Breaking generational patterns by choosing yourself. Your ancestors celebrate you. The third party's obsession with your name will eventually fade, not because healing occurred or moving on happened healthily, but because something new will arise to fixate upon, someone new to blame. Another narrative to build. People who refuse taking accountability simply keep finding external reasons for internal emptiness. While they create their next drama, you will continue building the life meant for you. Your name will still come up occasionally, mentioned when mutual friends ask what really happened, referenced when people wonder why that relationship imploded so spectacularly, whispered as explanation when someone questions the explosive ending. But over time, intensity around it will diminish, the charge will dissipate. Eventually your name becomes just a fact of their history rather than an active wound that cannot stop getting poked. For this person who spoke your name, though, the impact stays permanent. You have marked them in ways that cannot be erased, not in possessive or obsessive ways, but in the way genuine connections always mark us. Future relationships will get measured against what existed with you. Noticing will happen when something is missing that was present with you. For the rest of their life, memory will remain of what being truly seen and understood by someone felt like, and knowing they walked away from it will never fully leave them. Whether growth sufficient for appreciating that fully has happened, whether healing enough to show up differently if given another chance has occurred, whether evolution enough to meet you where you stand now has taken place, only time and consistent action can answer those questions. Words mean nothing at this point. Explanations mean nothing. Promises mean nothing. Only sustained aligned action over extended time means anything. And you get to decide how much proof is needed before even considering trusting them with access to your energy again. You are not a victim of this situation. You are not at the mercy of someone else's choices. You are not powerless. You are the one with power here. You get to decide what happens next. You get to set the terms. You walk in divine protection and ancestral guidance. Nothing from your past can touch what the universe has planned for your future. When everything goes down, when chaos erupts, when your name lives on everyone's lips, you stay in your lane, you protect your energy, you honor your journey, you trust the process, you keep moving forward knowing everything unfolds exactly as it should. This situation is a test, the universe checking to see if you meant it when saying you were done settling, checking to see if you really believe you deserve better, checking to see if you will honor healing or throw it away for someone offering crumbs. Tests never come easy. They arrive disguised as second chances, wrapped in nostalgia and chemistry and familiar comfort, appearing when defenses are down. That is exactly why these are tests. Anyone can make good choices when things are easy. Real strength shows in making good choices when the heart pulls one direction and intuition speaks differently. The breakup is happening. Your name will cause the explosion. The third party will lose their mind completely. This person will try coming back. You will handle all of it with grace, with power, with wisdom, because that reflects who you are now, what you have become, the person your healing journey has created. You are not going backwards. You are not repeating cycles. You are not settling for scraps. You are moving forward into blessings. You are breaking patterns. You are claiming everything that belongs to you. This starts with this choice, this moment, this test. When reach out happens, you will know exactly what to do, because preparation has happened, equipment has been given, empowerment exists. You are more than ready to handle whatever comes with grace and strength of someone who knows exactly who they are and exactly what they deserve. The nasty breakup is going down. The third party is losing their mind. Your name is the catalyst. You are standing in your power, watching it all unfold from a place of protection. Your best days are not behind you. They stretch ahead of you. Nothing can stop what is coming for you, except choosing to go backwards when the universe pushes you forward. Your name broke up their relationship, but you did not. Your name triggered the explosion, but the explosives were already there. Your name exposed what was already broken, but you did not break it. What you represent, the authenticity and depth and genuine connection, that was simply too powerful a contrast to the shallow foundation built. When that contrast became undeniable, when it got spoken into existence, the illusion shattered. Choose forward, choose yourself, choose power, choose peace. That is what chosen ones do. That is exactly what you will do when the moment comes. The storm is coming for them, but you are walking in sunshine, you are walking in clarity, you are walking in purpose, you are walking in power. When this is all over, when dust finally settles, you will look back and thank yourself for choosing you, for trusting your intuition, for honoring your worth, for walking away from what no longer served you and toward what was always meant for you. Your name alone was powerful enough to destroy what was false, so that what is real has room to emerge. Stand in that power. Own that truth. Walk forward knowing you are the prize, you are the standard, you are the catalyst for truth, and nothing can dim that light you carry. Watch how everything unfolds exactly as it must. Watch how choosing yourself opens every door meant for you. Watch how your sovereignty becomes the greatest gift you ever gave